County Planning Board. It is now called to order. I'm Nancy Hafford, the chair of the board, and we will now start our meeting with a roll call to account for the members of the board that are present. When you hear your name, please say aye. Mr. Array.
Aye.
Ms. Brophy. Ms. German.
Aye.
Mr. Hafer.
Aye.
Mr. Heckman.
Aye.
Mr. Heinel.
Aye.
Mr. Hinton. Mr. Halipka.
Aye.
Mr. Johnson.
Aye.
Mr. McGinnis.
Aye.
Mr. Perlow.
Aye.
Mr. Warren. Ms. Wolfson.
Aye.
Thank you all. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the
to the
flag
flag of the United States of America,
States of America,
And to the republic.
to the republic for which it stands,
One nation.
one nation, under God, indivisible,
With liberty.
and justice for all.
Thank you. Ms. Bensley, are there any changes to the tentative agenda as published?
No changes, Madam Chair.
Thank you. In the December 28, 2023 email, you received draft minutes from the November 16th meeting. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes? Are there any corrections or additions? If not, can I entertain a motion to accept the minutes as circulated?
Motion.
So
Thank you.
moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. First on the agenda, we have the opportunity to further discuss and then vote on the bicycle and pedestrian master plan. This item was first introduced to the board on November 2nd, and a public hearing was conducted on November 16th. Ms. Jessie Bilick is from the Department of Public Works and Transportation is here to answer any questions the board may have as we discuss before we take a vote. I would like Ms. Bilick to, do you have any comments you'd like to make at this time, Ms. Bilick?
So sorry, my computer just froze, so I ran in here. No, I don't. Thank you. I'm excited to get the plan moving and do all the good work that we have.
Great. Board members, do you have any outstanding questions for Ms. Bilick, or do you have any comments? Ms. Wolfson?
I would like to acknowledge the points Wally Lippincott submitted. And, you know, I agree that the plan is not perfect, but I definitely think it's a starting point. And hopefully we can deal with those issues in the coming months after the CZMP.
Thank you, Ms. Wolfson. Any other comments? If there are no further comments or questions, can I entertain a motion?
Nancy,
Yes.
I have a sort of a follow-up question
Okay.
to Kathy's. What's the thought for, I mean, how often does the county expect that they'll be updating this plan?
So Bike and Ped Master Plan is normally updated about every 10 years, but there can be changes to the plan as roads change or facilities get updated. Plans to put in facilities can be fluid, but the writing of the actual plan doesn't get updated usually every 10 years or so.
I was just trying to sort of follow up with Ms. Wolfson's comment that, you know, I know that Mr. Lippincott and others have had some suggestions. Hopefully this is more of a living plan that things can be modified over time.
There's some background music there, I mean, noise, if someone's not speaking, if you can turn off your speaker. Is there anyone else that has any other comments or questions?
Madam
Mr.
Chair,
Heckman?
yeah, I would just add that I would also like to see this master plan updated sooner rather than later, just to kind of get it off phase with the master plan approval process, because this bicycle plan is is a good start, but it's definitely not fully integrated with the 2030 master plan in 2 or 3 different areas. So I would suggest that if it's on the same cycle as the master plan, it will always be out of sync and out of date. So I would suggest maybe in like 5 years revisiting the master plan. Just a suggestion.
Madam Chair, if I may, if the planning board wishes, if it approves the plan this evening, to send as part of a transmittal letter, a request that within, say, 5 years, Mr. Heckman, if that works, that urge DPW&T to revisit the plan for any possible updates. I mean, we could, or it could be more frequent, but we could make that as part of the transmittal, excuse me, urging sort of revisit. And because certainly things will change, roads may change, communities will be built that are not in place now. So we could do it that way.
Thank you, Mr. Lafferty. So then would call for a motion to accept it, and then Mr. Heinl would make an additional motion, would get a second, and then we'll vote on it. Is that correct, Mr. Lafferty?
Yes, we could do it. Well, it'd be Mr. Heckman probably, but Mr. Heinl will probably be supportive.
Heinl, I'm sorry.
But yes, it's an H word. I got it. Yes, we could do it that way.
So do I need to make a motion? I guess I do, right?
Probably a motion to accept the report, and then subsequent motion that a transmittal letter include a request for a more current update.
Okay.
So Mr. Heckman, we're going to have Mr. Halipka will make the motion, and then you'll make your addendum, if that's okay. Okay, but first, are there any further questions or comments before we move forward? Not hearing any? Can I entertain a motion?
Be it moved that the planning board is accepting of the Baltimore County Bicycle and Pedestrian Master Plan as introduced November 2nd, 2023, and forwards it onto the county council for further review and consideration.
May I hear a second?
Second.
And then we will go for a roll call. Mr. Array?
Yes.
Ms. Brophy's not with us. Ms. German? Ms. German? You unmute, please.
Sorry, Nancy, yes.
Thank you. Mr. Hafer? Someone's got a lot of background noise. Mr. Hafer?
Aye.
Mr. Heckman?
Aye.
Mr. Heinl?
Aye.
Mr. Hinton?
Aye.
Mr. Halipka?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. McGinnis?
Aye.
Mr. Perlow? Mr.
Aye.
Perlow?
Aye.
Ms. Panero?
Aye.
Mr. Warren?
Aye.
Ms. Wolfson?
Aye.
Thank you. And now, Mr. Heckman?
I move that we, in the transmittal letter that goes to the county council, that we recommend that this bicycle master plan be updated within 5 years to, what do I want to say, better to get it off sync with the master plan.
Mr. Lafferty, you can work on that language a little bit, but
Yeah, we could massage that a bit. And Mr. Heckman, I would perhaps, are you looking for a full revision or just an update at that point in time? Because as Ms. Bialek pointed out, it takes a couple of years to really do a revision. So is it more of an update to make sure that things are current? I just want clarification, please.
Well, I guess an update would be the minimum. But then again, it gets updated again in 10 years, right?
Correct.
So it'll again be out of sync with the master plan.
Okay, so is your intent to have it fully revised in 5 years? So
Yes.
Okay.
And then 10 years after that.
Okay, okay, thank you for clarifying. So motion, I think, Madam Chair, would be that recommend that the master pedestrian master plan be updated in 5 years, which would be 2029, and then 10 years thereafter, in order to get it into the sequence that Mr. Heckman is seeking.
thank you, Mr. Lafferty. Do I have a second to that motion?
Second,
I'm going to do a roll call. Mr. Array,
Yes.
Ms. Brophy's not with us. Ms. German,
Yes.
Mr. Hafer,
Yes, but I have a question. Do we need to
Okay.
specifically say to ensure that it aligns with kind of what has been learned from the master plan, or do we just assume that that'll happen?
If Mr. Heckman's comfortable with that as a friendly amendment, we could insert that language as well.
okay? Then let me ask you, Mr. Array, are you comfortable with that additional language?
Yes.
Ms. German, are you comfortable with that?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Hafer, you are. Mr. Heckman, are you comfortable with the language?
Aye.
Mr. Heinel,
Yes.
Mr. Hinton,
Yes.
Mr. Halipka,
Aye.
Mr. Johnson,
Aye.
Mr. McGinnis,
No.
Mr. Perlow,
Aye.
Ms. Panero,
Aye.
Mr. Warren,
Aye.
and Ms. Wolfson.
aye.
Thank you all. Motion carries. Other business, recent council legislation. Ms. Bensley will now fill us in from the county with the county council following our last meeting. Our Ms. Bensley.
There's a lot of them, so bear with me. Bill 8123, demolition of unsafe structures, for the purpose of authorizing the county to expeditiously demolish an uninhabited structure that poses an imminent danger to human life or the public welfare due to an unsafe condition, providing for advance notice to the owner of record by posting, mailing, and publication, allowing for a property owner to pursue court action to challenge a proposed demolition, and generally relating to the demolition of dangerous structures. Bill 8523, development, public hearing on variance, special hearing, or special exemption, posting notice of hearing for the purpose of requiring that certain signs be posted on a property regarding certain development hearings be double-sided and placed within view of and perpendicular to a public road where possible, making certain technical corrections regarding numbers, and generally relating to posting notice of on a property. Bill 8723, rental housing licenses, notification of occupancy, for the purpose of requiring a landlord to notify the county in writing of the occupancy status of a licensed dwelling unit requiring the notice to contain certain information of the occupants, instituting a continuing obligation of a rental housing licensee to update the county regarding changes to the occupant information provided to the county, requiring that certain information collected be confidential unless disclosure is otherwise required under state law, establishing that intentionally providing false or misleading information regarding certain occupant information is grounds for the denial, suspension, or revocation of rental license, and generally relating to rental housing. Bill 8823, zoning regulations, uses permitted in the RC 50 zone, plastics recycling facility, for the purpose of permitting the conversion of former landfill sites to sustainable plastic recycling facilities and generally relating to uses permitted in the RC 50 zone. Bill 9523, development management, for the purpose of clarifying the process for amendments to approved development plans and generally relating to development management. Bill 9623, development management, for the purpose of modifying the definition of minor development and generally relating to development management. Bill 9723, development management, for the purpose of eliminating the option for the Director of Permits, Approvals, and Inspections when waiving certain development plan requirements to waive the requirement of the hearing officer's hearing and generally relating to development management. Bill 9823, zoning regulations, uses permitted in the DR55 zone, central community hub, for the purpose of defining a central community hub, permitting a central community hub in certain areas of the DR55 zone, subject to certain requirements, and generally relating to uses permitted in the DR55 zone. Bill 9923, zoning regulations, uses permitted RC2 zone, water treatment and plumbing services shop, for the purpose of permitting a water treatment and plumbing services shop use by right in the RC2 zone under certain circumstances and generally relating to uses permitted in the RC2 zone. Resolution 3423, Baltimore County Water Supply and Sewerage Plan Amendment Cycle 41. A resolution to amend the Baltimore County Water Supply and Sewerage Plan. The approved recommendation will be submitted to the Maryland Department of the Environment. Resolution 3523, updates to the Jacksonville Community Plan. A resolution requesting the Baltimore County Department of Planning to acknowledge and allow the Greater Jacksonville Association, Inc. to update the Jacksonville Community Plan in conjunction with the Baltimore County Department of Planning. Resolution 3623, adoption of development and zoning manuals. A resolution to adopt certain development and zoning manuals known as the Baltimore County Development Management and Plan Review Policy Manual and the Baltimore County Zoning Policy Manual. The Planning Board reviewed and approved the manuals at its September 7th, 2023 meeting. Finally, Resolution 3923, amending the boundary of the Towson Commercial Revitalization District. A resolution of the Baltimore County Council for the purpose of amending the boundary of the Towson Commercial Revitalization District. The County Council has identified an approximately 3.1 acre portion of the Goucher College property at 1021 Delaney Valley Road, located just north of the Edenwald Senior Living property along Southerly Road, that could benefit from revitalization as shown on the map identified as Exhibit A. The County Council deems it appropriate at this time to amend the Towson Commercial Revitalization District in order to add the area, and that concludes the report.
Good job.
Well done, Ms. Bensley. Well done. Well, this is the conclusion of our agenda for tonight. This is a reminder that our next meeting will be on January 18th. The meeting will be in person, and we will have a special presentation by the county executive on the capital improvement program. Are there any questions or comments?
Nancy, I have a quick question.
Sure.
What is what's a central community hub?
So this is Councilman Patoka's bill that really is focused on the Pikesville Armory. He has by this legislation, they can, in a DR55 zone, which is basically residential zone, have other activities, cultural, institutional, recreational activities. So it's rather than changing the zoning, he sought to open up the opportunity in this specific location.
I had never heard that term before, so I was just curious what it was referring to. I got it now.
I think it's a new term.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Not hearing any. As I said, the county executive will be joining at our next meeting on the capital improvement program. Do I have a motion to adjourn our first meeting of 2024?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All the best to all of you. Have a great start of the new year.
Guys.
You too. Thank you, Nancy.
And we'll see you on the 18th.
Thank you.